So the other day, while reading the news, I started to wonder that once a country becomes a nuclear power, does it need to keep testing bombs every few years to check if they still work? Hi, I am Charu, and at times I make content that might require a longer attention span. Let's try to understand by taking India as an example. So India tested nuclear weapons mainly in 1974 and then in 1998 at Pokhran. After that, India declared a voluntary moratorium, basically saying that we won't do any more nuclear explosive tests and has followed that ever since. And many other nuclear powers have done the same, especially after the CTBT was negotiated in the 1990s. What is CTBT? CTBT stands for Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, which is a global treaty that aims to ban all nuclear test explosions for military or even for peaceful purposes in every environment, be it underground, underwater, or in atmosphere. Now, here's the nuance. Many people don't realize that India never signed the CTBT. India's view was that the treaty was discriminatory. It locked in the existing nuclear powers without asking them to disarm. So India isn't bound by the CTBT, it follows its own self-declared moratorium. So how do they make sure that the nukes still work? Well, modern nuclear states don't need to keep exploding bombs underground. Instead, they use something called as stockpile stewardship, which is a science and engineering way to maintain weapons without full tests, which includes supercomputer simulations of nuclear explosions, non nuclear or subcritical experiments that don't create a full nuclear chain reaction, and third, nuclear inspection and maintenance and replacement of parts as they age. Now, I do need to add here that the global no testing picture isn't perfectly clean. North Korea is the major exception here. It has tested as recently as September 2017, and the moratorium itself is under real pressure today. Russia revoked its CTBT ratification in November 2023, and in October 2025, President Trump announced that the United States would resume nuclear testing on an equal basis with other countries. So the 30-year-old global testing taboo is shakier now than it has. So what I learned while researching about this is that once a country becomes nuclear, it doesn't have to keep exploding bombs to prove it again and again. The real game now is simulations, labs, and engineering backed by treaties like the CTBT that try to shut the door on nuclear testing worldwide. The question for the years ahead is whether that door stays shut.